let's quickly do it. Yesterday, 6 now. So you had a problem from Thursday and Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all week. ETC plus 8. So Friday, how was the trade on Friday? It was still okay, or you had some problem? Hello?
Yeah, at LO, at London Open was all right.
Okay, was all right. Okay, try to understand why it was all right. Okay. So it was clear uptrend structure that was all right. So the London Open at what time? Friday, right? Here. So let's mark it here. Okay. So to save your time, just mark the changes here. All right. And then you press the control on your keyboard and move to the London Open, right? It will copy and paste automatically over here. All right. And then move to the next one. I think you know about this, right?
Yeah,
Okay. OSS. And then O Asian close. Okay. And then we have London Open, right? Now, the second step is once you have marked the OSS, AC, and LO, right? The first thing you need to do is to figure out the highest point of the bar here. The highest point of this between this range, this whole range here. Okay. This between this AC and OSS. Okay, got it? So you need to figure out the highest point. So how would you figure out? Okay, so you just draw the straight line. Okay, this is the highest point according to me, right? And how about the lowest swing point? Starting from here, straight line, then moving all the way down. Okay, and how about the lowest point? Where would you mark the lowest point? Can you tell me?
somewhere around the middle.
Here?
No, before that.
It's not what?
Yeah, before that.
Here?
Yeah.
Here? Okay. All right, so let's suppose you marked over here. This is the Asian range. What happens here important, like you need to understand what's going on over here. Okay, let me mark here, move here. All right. Okay, so bring it a little bit low. All right, so what's going on over here? Can you tell me? Now you have this OH and OL. All right, it's already marked OH top, and then you have this OL. Now, first of all, the first thing, once you have marked OH and OL, you need to see how the price is moving between this, what the price is doing. Okay, so my technique is, like, my advice for you is zoom out. Okay, zoom out your chart. All right, once you zoomed out your chart, all right, what you can see here, just hide this portion, like here. What can you see here once you zoomed out this chart? You see the price is moving with an extreme high point, right?
Yeah.
A huge point, right? Again, you can see a swell in volume right over here, very huge volume right over here. This point. Okay, why there's high volume over here? Why is this high volume here? Find the reason. And then the second thing, once you have spotted the high volume areas, okay, mark the high volume area. This is very important. Okay, before the London Open. Oh, sorry, before the OSS start range, right? Okay, before this range, you have to figure out what the price has done previously, right? All we know that the price is entering lower, okay, right, into the range, right?
Yeah.
You have to figure out the cause. What? You have to figure out what? The cause of this down move. Before down move at OH, OL range. What is the cause of this down move? Okay, so once we figure it out, then we will get an idea what's going on in the picture, right? Okay, So we just mark this one. We see the channel here. We mark this high, this low. Okay. So this low and this low. The first higher low is over here. All right. We extend the channel. All right. And we notice what? What do we notice here?
Slight
Yeah,
overbought.
a slight overbought here. Right. And we have experienced the first high volume over here. Very high volume. Got it? So this once the high volume fades and it's not on the, it becomes what? Preliminary supply. I think you know about it.
Okay.
Right? This becomes what? Buying climax. All right. This becomes buying climax, and then the price straight away moved, and how it breaks. You see how it breaks the channel on an increasing volume. What is this? Very straight move to the downside. It's FTI,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Once you have marked FTI here, okay, now you have a clear structure of this idea. Now what the price is doing here. Now, of course, after FTI, once you have an FTI completion, when there is a range here, what this range would be called just before.
Redistribution.
Okay. Don't just make it very simple. Okay. Redistribution here. Okay. Between OH and OL. So the bias between this area, but the bias between this area would be what?
Bearish.
Bearish. Okay. Now this is very clear that, okay, there will be some sort of, okay, you may experience some sort of bullishness over here because of high volume, but but let me remind you, okay, all right, that the overall bias between this would be bearish, right? And bearish until when? Until when? Now you see the lowest point. Where is the tendency? Now you just zoom in the chart. Okay, you zoom in the chart. Can you identify the lowest point on this chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly
All right.
on the right side.
Yeah. So once we have this kind of situation, you find the lowest point until here and see a market. All right, and market, because this would be the point where the price might go back and react. Okay, I will show you in a minute now. It can exceed it. It can broke this channel because this area, if identified very correctly, this area is what? You can see very clearly this area is what? Accumulation, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the point is the price might come back, and this was the lowest region. Okay, this was the lowest region. Okay, on this point. Okay. All right. So I'm not saying that this area would be the lowest one. The price can break down. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right. So we have redistribution range here. Okay. So this had the potential to go down up to this point. Okay. Once it break it, then we will see what will happen. Right. So for now, this is what we see as a region. All right. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, you have understand the idea. So just make this line very soft. Okay. There's like dotted line. Okay. Dash line. Okay. So let's go to the 5-minute time frame to refine any structure. 5 minutes to find any kind of refinements and microstructure, if you can find. So between OH and OL, what kind of microstructure can we find? I just see the straight down move here, and the price is just rotating like this, and the price breaks through it, right?
Yeah.
What happens before here? There's some kind of consolidation, the price breakout, right? So nothing much going on here. 3-minute time frame. Okay, come back here. So this is what happens here. So once the price breaks through, break through it, okay, the price consolidates here as well. Okay, all right. So this is kind of what kind of action is this? A kind of build down, and the price again breaks through it on a high volume. Okay, on a high volume. All right. So obviously, when the price breaks through it on a high volume, what kind of action would be this one? What kind of action would be this one?
LPSY.
Hmm?
LPSY.
Yes, of course. This would be LPS. Okay, this one here. Okay, this is because this is an FTI of this region, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then the price will come back and then FTI again, and then we see a huge volume to the downside. Okay, a very huge volume. Now you will notice whenever you see high volume, take mark of it. Where did you see high volume? Right over here. And returns contact. And what the price is doing after high volume, the reversing here. It means there is some sort of buying on the short term, right? And if you draw the mini channel, if you can see the channel over here, okay, because this is the major high, and this one, if you draw the channel here, you would see some sort of what? Yeah, we can see some sort of SOT here. Can you see?
Yeah.
Right, SOT here. So yes, there is an SOT here. All right. So yes, of course, this is an SOT here. All right. So this will be a market of significance here. Okay. So we draw this one here, straight line. Let's make it bold. And this one here as well. Okay. At the news, and the news came right over here. Sorry. Here. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So do you see here? London open at 3, right? And then we have a huge news, right? Huge bar here. Okay. So the price, the price did what? A very fixed range here. Now we know that this is a price where the price might reverse, right? So very easily we have two region here, this one and this OL, right? The price can go back and reverse from here, right? So what would be my initial trade when the London opens? Just straight away this bar. What is this bar? Spring, test of spring, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And FOC no result as well. This bar has a characteristic of FOC no result, huge volume. That's it, finish. All right. Now what happens? The price drove up here. The problem with this is that if you measure the high now, how do we know that the price will go back and like the price will break through this level? OL. Okay, we don't know, right? It's a very risky to say that okay, the price will just break through it and OL, and then the price will just, like, because we have a very high volume over here. You can see the volume rising here. All right.
Yeah.
So once you see the high volume here, which is highest in the bar, right? We have high volume here, testing here, and then the last, after this is a successful test, and after test there is a very high volume, and the price just tested it and went to the high side, right? Okay, so you can target the last area high. The last area high between this range and this one would be which one? What is the last area high? Okay, I think this one would be the last area high, right?
Yeah.
Right, so you can target the last one. This is the maximum you can target. Okay. All right. And then what happened? The price just went back. Okay, went back, and there is I mean, obviously this is what is this? What kind of range is this? Okay, the price went back. Okay, and then we have a very high volume, and the price break down over here. Obviously, when the price broke again and fails over here, okay, what the price is doing here? The price just tested this region, broke down. We cannot do anything here. Now, if we have another opportunity, we can go for the short one. Okay, and as the price goes up, we see what? High significant volume. Can you see? Right? And see
Yeah.
if you can draw the channel. Yes, I think we can draw the channel here. No, this one, it's very hard to draw the channel here, right?
Yep.
So it's just a straight move down, and then the price just acted straight away. Okay, the price acted at what? The price acted at what? Upthrust of this one, very huge one, came down and then test this region and test this region. Okay, all right. And what do we have here?
No demand.
Yeah. It's not a no demand. It's just like a little upthrust with a slightly higher volume, right? And then
Yeah.
what do we have? Okay, the last target area, obviously, what would we mark? What can you see the last target area here? Okay, forget about this line. I'm not taking lines into consideration. This is the last area low, right? The last low between this whole range, target the last low, which is the lowest low is this one, right? This is all you have, the potential of the trade. So 3.94 hour from here, 3.5 hour from here. These were pretty simple setups. Okay. So what other do you want to see? Thursday? Where did you mess
Yeah.
up? Thursday, right?
I think Wednesday. Thursday, I think still was all right.
Wednesday. Wednesday. Wait, hold on. Yes. Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what do we have here? The highest point here. Obviously, this one. Right? The same step. Make the analysis very simple. Okay. How do you make it simple? Right, this. Okay. And the lowest point here. This one now. What is the lowest point here? Hello, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. So the lowest point should be this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? If you have a difficulty here, I told you can just use a swing point indicator. Just here.
Yep.
Which one do you use?
Pivot high, low points.
Sorry?
Pivot high, low points.
Pivot high.
Yeah, this is don't slow.
All right. 3, 3. All right. Yeah, this one, right? As identified here. Highest point this one, lowest point this one, right? So I just use this and hide it, okay? After that, you can hide it. It's no longer needed. So what do you do next? Mark OH. Mark OL. And then you see how the price is moving here, what the price is doing. before moving to the upside here. The price is moving, entering to the upside, right? Entering like this into the channel. All right.
Yeah.
The price is entering
Yeah.
like this into the channel. You can see to the upside. What is the cause of this one? Entering here. What can you see? It's just a range, right? And what's going on
Yeah.
between this range? What do you see? A huge down move to the downside. Okay. A huge down move to the downside. And then the price starts deviating here. Right?
Yes.
Right. And then what do we see next? The price deviates how? We see a very high volume over here. Very high volume over this area, this whole area, high volume. Right? And the price went down. Again, high volume testing here. Price went down, right? So what do we see? How the price is moving? We cannot make any sense here, right? Because this one is a cause of this one. No, it's just a range, and after range, the price went up, right? So range is just like this, right? This is the range here. If you just say this is a range, but what is the cause of this range? Is it selling climax here? Is it selling climax here? What is it?
Yeah, most likely a selling climax SOT.
This one? If you just say it as SOT and this one, right? And SOT, after SOT, the price rise up, and the price is what? The price just had a range over here, right? Had a range over here. Now, the most important information we had that the price had a range before entering, and then the price shoot it up. So how the price is shooting up to this one? The cause of this move is this range, right? So what happened in this range? Now, what we can do here, we can just draw this line here. All right. This is the first thing we can do, identifying highs and lows here. All right, and we see that this high, and this high, this is making some sort of SOT overshoot, right? SOT overshoot here, and we have a very high volume over here. All right, we have a very high volume over here. So this one here, yes, this one here was a very good trade, right? But this was only valid for this part. Got it? And then the price range. So the point here is, how would you identify this channel? Where is AR? Where is this one?
AR should be at a beat.
Okay, let's
down.
suppose if you say this one is selling climax, right? Okay, now we straight away say if this is selling climax, this is AR, right?
Yeah.
We mark this as AR. This one, obviously, this is what? A redistribution range, right? And after AR, what happens? The price never returned back here. You see, if you just mark it as an AR, very simple. Marking it as an AR, right over here, drawing the line, what happens here? The price never completed the move. Did you see? Do you agree? The price just made an AR. Where is JAC? Before just an AR, the price started doing what? The price reaches the AR value, right?
Yeah.
And after reaching the AR value, the price has experienced high volume, effortless no result, very huge bar here, rejection over here at OHI, and then fails. And test here, and then fails. What does this tell you? This potential accumulation has failed. Simple. That's what I wanted to tell you. When the potential accumulation fails, do you agree or not? It turns into what?
Distribution.
That's it. Okay, so this whole region is a part of distribution. Why? Because why? There is no JAC. Where is JAC? Identify, and this is SOT over here. Right? This is SOT. SOT. And now this is selling climax AR. And let's suppose if this is AR, we call this as a secondary test. Okay. Secondary test. Yes, for now, we might have this one line and then say, okay, this is what we have a secondary test. We have gone of spring here, high volume, and the price went up. And now we are expecting the price. Once we target this region, we are out of the trade, right? And once the people are out of the trade, what do we see? The price just went up, forms an SOT, fails at AR and below, okay, diverge below. And what do we see? A breakout here. Huge volume here. What does it tell you? What kind of breakout is this? FTI, right? Do you understand?
Yeah.
An FTI came back. It came back for test, huge volume over here, and then tested multiple times and then came down. So this becomes what? Last point of supply. LPSY. Or you can say another thing. RBI. Okay. What happens here? Now, what would you say about this range? This is a whole distribution, right? Now we wait for 3-minute time frame. We have all the idea. Okay, we can draw the immediate bias if you want to and figure out our opportunities. Okay. And of course, as the price goes down after this one, the price comes down. Okay. The price comes down. We are within the range here. And what do we see here? What do we see here? Can you tell me? This is what? A kind of build down, right? A kind of build down and then the breakout again JAC. Very clear. Sorry, FTI. Very clear result, right? And then the price did what after FTI? Redistribution and then again. Again did what? Can you tell me? Redistribution. Yeah, redistribution broke down here and the price started going down, right? When the price started going down, what will happen? Now, this is where the London opens. Now, you wait for the London open candle, right? You wait for the London open candle. All we know is that the price is breaking this low and went down, and then we experience a very high volume over here, right at the London open. Obviously, you cannot enter over here because we have no context. Our context is that we need the price to test this region and come down, right? So we are opening in the middle, but we have a very high volume, higher than anything else, right? A very high volume. Now, of course, when there is a high volume and a bullish bar, there will be some sort of what? Buying over here, right? A very short-term buying. And now when we test this region, we can take the trade. Okay? A very short-term trade. Do you understand? That's it. Finish. Because this is a region where the price would test this region low. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is high and low. That's this region here. All right, that's it. Slide back here. Now what happened here? The price formed what? The price tested this region. Okay. The price tested the region here. And you will notice how do we identify this point? Very easy. You can draw the short-term bias here. And if you draw the short-term bias here, you would see that the price starts making a very high volume here. Shoot down, or they did not close above, but there is some sort of, what do we say? What do we have here? Yeah. And of course, there is an SOT over here if you just draw the straight line. Very, very simple setup here, right? So yes, there is some sort of buying here when you see high volume on this candle bar. Test of this buying will produce a result, and obviously you have to close at where? At LPSY region, right? This is the point where you have to close it. And just 2-hour trade. Simple one. And then what do we have here? An upthrust, right? All right. So we have an upthrust here. And we just drag down, okay? And then of course, we have no opportunity right over here. Okay, an upthrust here. Came down here. And if you take an opportunity, you will take a loss. Why? Because if you take this high, where would be our last high? Our last high would be this one, right? So the problem here would be, I think that the SL would be too high. What do you think? Right? Because
Yeah.
this is last high is over here. So SL will be too high. I'm not saying that it's not right, but there will be so much choppiness over here that you will scare out and figure. So you need a better entry. So of course, what do we see here? Very simple. We just draw the line here and upthrust failure. Okay, this is in the UT. It is UTAD upthrust. Now we have a very clear signal. Right? Very clear signal. Now you compare this bar, very clear signal. Okay, and then we have a test here. So we have an opportunity right over here. Okay, this is the point where we have an opportunity. Right over here, yes, you can take your trade because it's upthrust, it's test of upthrust, F is no result, and then you can also take over here as well, whatever you like. Obviously, if you take over here, our last low would be this one, last high. If you take this trade, last high, it's also fine. If you take this trade, this is last high, and you take the way all the way down, because the major part, as I told you, was distribution. Redistribution. Got it?
Okay.
Keep things very simple. Okay. Now our major part was here. The one tip you can do here is not to do anything. Just stop. You know that in that case, you have to forget about taking the short-term buys. When the trade was here, what you can do, you can wait. You can wait until the price reaches some solid point over here. So how you can wait? Okay, you know that the price is in distribution phase. Okay, so you can choose not to take this trade in a short-term bias. Okay, and you can rather wait for the price to test this region and go short. And of course, most technically, you will go short right over here. And of course, once you place your SL right over here, just above the last point here, if this is the last point, you have to place a couple of pips above last point here. Okay, this would be your trade for the London Open. If you just want to take the short trades. Okay. And of course, when you do this for 2 hours, you do not get 2 hours right over here. Yes. All right.